So, is the pet portrait market really that oversaturated? Hi, I'm Sema Martin. I'm a pet portrait artist and I have been for the last 10 years. And I want to talk to you about this, myth that's been going around that I see a lot on social media, that the pet portrait market is now oversaturated. And I just wanted to talk about it because I don't think that's true. So one of the reasons why I don't think it's true is because of social media algorithms. So if you don't really know how they work, it's basically a formula that looks at what you like, what you comment on, what your interests are, and shows you more of those things. So if you're like me and you're a pet portrait artist and you follow other pet portrait artists, you comment on anyone that does pet portrait art, you like anyone that does pet portrait art, the algorithm, any social media algorithm, whether it's Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, is going to show you more of that topic. So they'll show you more social media artists. If you pet portrait artist, because if you are, say, I don't know, your friend that has nothing to do with pet portrait art, they do other stuff. I have a friend that knits, so her stuff on social media would show her things about knitting, about running, her other interest, about, clean eating, about parental guidance, all that kind of stuff. That's what her social media shows her. It doesn't show her an endless stream of pet portrait artists. That's what my social media shows me because it thinks that's what I'm interested in. So I know it might feel like, oh, there's so many out there, that's why I'm not getting work. That isn't true. It may be slightly, it might feel true because you're not getting the work, but that's not the reason. I know that 2020 helped a lot of people achieve their goal of becoming full-time artists or even start doing art again. A lot of people took up pet portrait commissions as a side hustle during 2020 to help with income and that kind of thing. And so yes, I do believe that there are more pet portrait artists now than there were, say, 5 years ago. But I still don't believe that the market is oversaturated because there are 2 billion pets in the world. Like, that is a lot. If you can try and wrap your mind around that number, 2 billion, they're not all drawn. There isn't all of the pets in all of the world are now drawn, so there are no jobs for any pet portrait artists. Like, that isn't true. So I don't want you to feel like you can't be a pet portrait artist because there are already too many. That is not the case. It will never be the case. Some pet portrait artists will start their businesses, stop their businesses. Others will continue. Like me, I've kept going for 10 years. I've been taking commissions for 10 years. It hasn't stopped. It's slightly slowed down because I've slowed down, but it doesn't mean that the actual market is so oversaturated that there isn't much work. That isn't true. So things I want you to think about if you do feel like your sales have slowed is social media. Did you rely on social media a lot, say 5 years ago, before it changed dramatically with reels and that kind of stuff? Because I did. I relied quite a lot on Facebook through people contacting me on Facebook. I've honestly never got a commission from Instagram itself, even though it looks like I have a lot of followers on there. I've got 35.5 thousand followers on Instagram, but I've never had a commission from there. That definitely should tell you something. It's not all about followers and stuff to actually get commissions. That one doesn't equal the other. But I used to get a lot of commissions through Facebook. But also what I used to do on Facebook is I used to post to at least 50 groups a week on Facebook. Literally until Facebook blocked me and told me I was being spammy and would wouldn't allow me to post for another 3 days. Like, it's not that severe. If you get blocked on Facebook, it's fine. They'll just stop you posting for 3 days and then you can start posting again. So that's literally what I used to do to get customers. I would post in 50 different cat groups or dog groups or horse groups, talking about my art, sharing my art, just sharing testimonials of my art 50 times a week. And that's what got me sales, not the number of posts or followers that I have on Instagram or social media itself. It was actually interacting and doing outreach with people. And that's what I've slowed down doing, because I don't really have that much time anymore now with a child, and also I'm not trying to take on as many commissions as I used to because I have other income streams. I'm doing other things like courses and tutorials, but that doesn't mean that I'm seeing, I guess, the relation between an oversaturated market and my sales. There's no oversaturation of the market. It's just that you're seeing more pet portrait artists because that's what the algorithm is showing you. So a way that I'm currently getting commissions is through Facebook, through my website, through word of mouth, through retargeting through repeat customers. So I'm keep talking to my repeat customers, and that's how I get more commissions. They either commission me or they tell their friends about me, that kind of thing. And also offline, I feel like this is really missed. Like, go and put up some posters and go to your local dog groomers, go to the local dog friendly cafes, that kind of thing. You know, if you haven't done those things and you haven't made any commission sales, then please go and try that. I guarantee you it will work. Another thing I'd like to talk about is volume. So I just spoke about how I used to post 50 times a week. So sheer volume will get you the outreach, the views, the eyes, I guess, on your work that you need to make sales. If you're not doing a voluminous outreach, so say you're only posting on social media once a week and wondering why no one's DMing you, it's probably because they're not seeing you. Once a week is not enough. Even nowadays, with a lot of content creators and influencers, sometimes posting 20 times a day, that's what you're competing with. So even posting once a day isn't enough anymore. So instead of feeling like, oh, it's an oversaturation of market, that's why I'm not getting sales with my one post a week, it's sheerly down to the fact that you're just not being seen. You're not being seen enough. So you need to figure out how you can comfortably do more volume with your outreach. So I say comfortably in the way that feeds your soul, that you enjoy. So if you don't enjoy posting on social media and you don't enjoy doing reels, don't do that. Find another way that you can do consistently in a voluminous way, that you can do a lot of. So I personally love talking to people on Facebook groups. I love posting about my work. I love replying to every one of their comments, talking about their cats, talking about their dogs. So talking to people are one of the things that I love and what I use social media for. I personally don't like doing reels either. So I've turned more into the talking side of things, the human communication side of things. That's what I love to do. Doing lives, that's another thing that's been really helpful for me personally to communicate with potential customers. So do a live on YouTube or TikTok. TikTok, I think, is the best thing to do lives on, just because it shows you to lots of people that aren't following you. If you go live on Instagram, it only shows your live to your followers. So if you're trying to reach new people, I suggest going live on TikTok or YouTube. YouTube isn't as, I think it isn't as there isn't as many people watching lives on YouTube as there are on TikTok. So it's up to you to try those things out to see what works best for you. But if you like the idea of just drawing and chatting, lives are a great way forward. You don't have to do any posts. I've grown my new account, Learn My Craft, with just lives. So it does have some posts on there, but if you look at it, the posts only get like 200 views. They're not very much at all. But I still have nearly 2,000 followers on there. And that's purely just lives. And it's only like a 4-month-old account. It's been about 4 months. I went live every day for 100 days. And that's what built the followers. So that sort of implies that you should be doing something that you really love consistently and a lot of. So that also follows through to my rule of 100. So I tried doing lives every day for 100 days to see the result. Post every day for 100 days to see the result. Post 100 flyers, to see the result. If you don't do something 100 times, you don't know whether it's worth continuing or not. Like doing something 100 times will show you, where you're going wrong, what your messaging is. Like, are you telling people the right thing? Are you describing the right thing? It will give you the opportunity to get as much feedback as possible. And therefore you have 100 opportunities to iterate, to get it right. So by the 100th thing you've done, the 100th post, the 100th live, the 100th reel, you are so much more experienced and better off than you were from the first time. That's why you have the rule of 100, doing something 100 times and learning from it, iterating from it. So the 100th version of that post, of the video, of that flyer is going to tell you so much more. You would have learnt so much from doing that entire process that you are so much more better off at knowing either whether it's worth continuing, if that formula is working for you. Is putting up flyers working? Is doing social media posts working? Is doing videos working? That will tell you by the 100th time of learning so much, it will tell you whether it's worked or not. So I want you to really try and think about these numbers. So if you thought posting once a week was going to get you commissions and it hasn't got you commissions, I want you to try posting 100 times. Honestly, 100 times, whether you do one a day for 100 days, or 3 a day or 5 a day, whatever the number, gather 100 posts. You can even repost content that you've already done. You don't even have to create new content, but it's about being consistent 100 times in a row. So gather 100 content ideas or 100 posts you've already done or videos you've already done and do it. Just post it on, see what happens, see how consistent you are, and see the result you get, as well as flyers. I saw one artist said, I put up a flyer in my cafe and I didn't get anything from it, so I'm not going to do it again. So they only put up one flyer. One flyer isn't really going to move the needle. It's not enough for people to see you. How many times do you walk past flyers in cafes and restaurants and things like that and not read them? When you're putting up a flyer, it's not a guarantee that everybody that ever walks past is going to see it. Just like on social media, posting once doesn't guarantee that everybody on social media is going to see it. You need to do it more. So put up 100 flyers and let me know what that result is. That is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm in the middle of creating some posters. I'm using my poster templates. I'm making some posters, a few different designs, and I'm going to put up 100 and see how many commission inquiries I get back from that, and I will let you know. But numbers are important. So I've gone from posting 50 times on cat groups to now I'm doing posters, and as well as talking to 100 people, I follow Alex Hormozi. I'm not sure if you do, but he mentioned once that he DMs 100 people a day. And that kind of number, again, is just so hard to comprehend of like, okay, so if I spoke to 100 cat owners, you know, that's going to convert probably 10. I feel like it's a 10% kind of conversion rate over that amount of people. So if you spoke to 100 people with pets, at least 10 of them will come back to you, and that again will convert to a sale or 2 or 3, depending on, you know, your manner and how you talk to them, and what your prices are and what their price range. There's lots of other things that go into it, but just try and at least talk to 100 people. I'm not saying to do 100 people a day, like that's actually quite hard. I've tried it. I think in one day I managed to speak 20 people, just DMing them. Like, I have other stuff to do. I have a daughter to take care of. I can't really do it all day every day. But I tried talking to at least 20 people, and I got 2 sales out of that. I spoke to 20 people and I got 2 sales. And mostly that was going through my own DMs at everybody who's ever messaged me about a commission. So whether they have already commissioned me or they've just DM'd me asking about commissions but never followed through, I just replied to them and talked to them and spoke to them. Even some random people that had commented on any of my posts, I messaged them and said, hey, would you like me to draw, you know, your cat Simba, or whatever they've said in the comments. You know what I mean? Like, how many people have commented in your posts that you've never spoken to? They're all people that have shown an interest in your art, interest in your work. Go and talk to them. If you speak to 100 people that have shown an interest in what you're doing, I guarantee you will make sales. So it's not because there's an oversaturation of pet portrait artists, not at all. It's just that you're simply not talking to enough potential clients to get commissions. And that is the reality. So I want you to go and think about what you enjoy doing in terms of outreach. Do you enjoy putting up flyers? Do you enjoy doing lives? Do you enjoy doing reels? Like, what do you enjoy? And then I want you to do that one thing 100 times and then tell me your result. I'll be very interested to hear. And if you have any more outreach ideas, let me know in the comments below. If you also want help with your pet portrait business, learning how to sell your pet portraits, then please click the link below, and I'll see you next time.